Ready, hunt!
I'm Jenni Carlson here with Travis Haney. We're in Waco, Texas, where tonight Baylor has defeated Oklahoma 45-38. Travis, obviously a stunner. Oklahoma never lost to Baylor before. What did Baylor do in this game to turn that tide?
I think you got to start with Robert Griffin III. I mean, just the dynamic playmaking ability. You saw it in that last minute in particular. He just keeps the play going, keeps extending the play, the touchdown play in the very end, a 34-yard pass. He buys it some extra time, just sort of lobs it in the general direction of a one-on-one matchup, and lo and behold, Terrence Williams is wide open to win the game. But to get to 45, you have to do a lot more than that one play. They're over 500 yards. Just Griffin alone, about 530 of those yards, 479 through the air. The Sooners hapless at times in the secondary.
Well, we've seen OU have secondary breakdowns, but boy, I don't know if we've ever seen anything quite like this. There were Baylor wide receivers running wide open. Miscommunications, misplayed. What in the heck happened tonight?
A little of everything. You saw the fluke play on the 87-yard touchdown, a ricochet. The ball shoots forward about 15, 20 yards. You never see a play like that. It got Baylor back in the game when it seemed like the Sooners had all momentum, up 24-17 at that point in the third quarter. But a lot of it, as you say, just miscommunication, out of position. Javon Harris a couple of different times was out of position. Sam Proctor was beaten on the last touchdown. So there's a lot of different players, a lot of different things that just seemed to go wrong. It's happened all year. The safeties have been out of position. Harris is a guy who's been out of position quite a bit, but not that many times in one game. I think you could probably count 7 or 8 different times that he was just kind of in the wrong spot. And as you say, there was a bear behind him. They missed it on a couple of times. They got one called back for a hold. Griffin overthrew one. They dropped another touchdown. So this could have actually been worse.
Oklahoma goes down 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, Travis, and mounts quite a comeback. I mean, they tie the game in large part behind the bulldozer. The offense really kind of got some momentum going there.
Well, you had to wonder when they did fall behind up by 2 touchdowns. No Ryan Broyles, no Dom Whaley. Is this when you see the Oklahoma offense kind of tighten up, unable to move the ball? Baylor's defense not that great, especially on the ground. The Sooners were patient, still tried to use Roy Finch. Brandon Williams got in there late, got some things going on the ground. That then opened up DeJuan Miller, Trey Franks on a couple of drives, and then the big guy, Blake Bell, the bulldozer, anywhere near the goal line, he was going to score. I mean, there was nothing that Baylor could do, to the point that Bob Stoops said, if we score, we're going to go for 2 and try and win the game. So it's an Adam Shedd left guard moving early away from going for 2 and potentially going up. Instead, it ties the game and it gives Griffin the chance. What happens if they go for 2 and get it? Do they still lose the game? I don't know. Bob Stoops was asked that question and said he wasn't sure what would happen. Doesn't matter now because Robert Griffin stole the show in the last minute.
Okay, last question, and this may be the hardest one to answer after this weekend when we saw Oklahoma and Oklahoma State lose and the BCS get thrown into complete and utter chaos once again. But what does all this mean for Oklahoma's after the season chances? Is there a chance to still BCS, to go to a Fiesta Bowl? Where do you kind of put their hopes at this point?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this last week, and it just is a completely different set of circumstances that have all changed in the last 48 hours for both teams in the Bedlam game. Oklahoma State may creep back into the BCS picture somehow, some way. I'm not sure how that could even happen in the last day, but it has. For Oklahoma, it's all about the Big 12 title. It's all about winning Bedlam, getting that conference championship, and finding a way back into the BCS. But this is a team right now that, again, is in a position for soul-searching. I think the number one problem with this team is when it's going against those pass-happy offenses. So Iowa State maybe isn't that problem, but then Oklahoma State is that problem. So they got to tighten up a lot of things between now and December 3rd.
All right. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.